Hey guys, welcome to the Monday betting preview. In this video, I'm going to go through my best bet in Eels Tigers game in the NRL and my best bet in the Hawthorn Geelong game in the AFL. Taking a similar approach to both matchups because I think the underdog in both games is a genuine chance of winning or at least keeping the game close. So firstly, the Eels Tigers game. The past three matches between these two sides have been separated by small margins. Eels winning all three of them by about 1 point, 6 points, and 8 points. Coming into this game, obviously Mitch Moses is out injured. So that gives the Tigers a chance of winning this game if their defense can hold up against an undermanned Eels attack. But looking at the line for this game with the Tigers, only a 5.5 point underdog and get 6.5 at some places. I think that is a little bit on the skinny side and not quite enough. So for this game, what I'm going to take is either side to win by up to 12 points. So down in the try bet 1 to 12 at $1.78. That's at Ned's or Ladbrokes. The reason being is I think the Tigers have a small chance of winning this game, but if they lose, I can't see them losing by over 2 converted tries. And I'd much rather take $1.78 for them to lose by 12 points than take the $1.90 for them to only lose by up to 5 points. So I think they can keep it close within that 12-point margin, but if they are able to win the game, I don't think they're going to be able to win by more than 12. And I can't see the Eels getting blown out like that. Also, looking through the form for these sides, the Tigers coming off that big win against the Cronulla Sharks last week, and the Sharks have come out and beat up on the Raiders on Sunday afternoon. And then also Manly, who the Eels beat last week and did it only by a small margin. Manly's come out and lost to the Dragons, who are a side who do have a good record of them, but couldn't get it done against the lesser side. So I think this is going to be a close-ish game. So either team to win by 1 to 12. And as I mentioned, I'm going a similar line of thinking in the AFL with the Hawthorn Geelong game. Looking at the Hawks-Cats game, obviously, statistically, coming through last season, the Cats dominate in pretty much every category, both in attack and defense. However, Hawthorn are a better side at the stoppages, which I think is going to be really important in a game that's going to be affected by the weather. With the news of the weather, if we bring back up that trend report that we're just looking at there, that total points line has moved down from 168.5 down to 153.5. So if you're sitting on under 168.5, then you're sitting pretty good, and you could even potentially look to middle that with a 15-point gap between the two now. But we're not on that, so that's irrelevant. And with that weather, also the lines come down from 21.5 down to 15.5 at some places. I would be surprised if Hawthorn were to win this game, but I wouldn't be absolutely shocked. I give them a very small chance, but I think the odds are about right. I probably have Hawthorn closer to the 12-point underdog as opposed to the 15 it's at right now, especially due to the conditions expected for this game. And so for that reason, I'm taking either team to win by up to 24 points at $1.88. That's also at Ladbrokes or Ned's. The reason being is very similar line of thinking to the NRL game, where Hawthorn are a small chance of winning this game. And if they win, I can't see them winning by 25 or more points. But I would rather the extra 9 points or potentially even more with them at plus 24.5 if Geelong were to win the game, then taking them plus 15.5. So happy to have it in that middle, and we're getting basically the same odds. Because obviously if Geelong won this game by 25 plus, it's also not going to cover the 15 plus anyway. And I can't see Hawthorn realistically winning this game by more than 4 goals. Last time they met, Geelong won by a big margin, but the line was minus 33.5 points for this corresponding match last year. Hawthorn did win the game the year before that. But with the conditions expected, I think it's going to be a close, contested game. Hawthorn's mids do need to step up. Dangerfield is out for Geelong, and Hawthorn's forward line is probably a touch more suited to the conditions than the Cats, with Hawthorn built by a group of more small forwards compared to the Cats forward line with Hawkins and Jeremy Cameron. So those are the reasons why I'm taking those two plays. On Sunday, we went 1-2, couldn't hit either play in the AFL, with Bontempelli putting in a really low disposal game. Treloar was the leading disposal getter, but Bontempelli couldn't get to the 25. And then the Swans really stuffed it around against the Tigers, with Richmond winning that game outright. But over in the NRL, we hit the over in the Sharks-Raiders game very comfortably, hitting the over 40.5 in that matchup. And this is the reason why I focus on these $1.90, $2, $2.10, $2.20 range with the majority of bets. I'm not taking a $1.20 shots, $1.30 shots outright. A bet needs to, for me to lay a stake on it, needs to be around that $2 average price. So then I know I'm only needing to hit over 50% of bets in order to be profitable. And we're not having to hit, 60, 70, 80% of bets in order to be winning. So we can have days where we go 1-2 or 1-1 and kind of break even. But then the days where we go 3-0, 4-0, you really make in the profits. And when you zoom out over the long term, just need to be making sure you're hitting over that 50%, depending what the average odds you are taking. Obviously, if you're taking an average price of $1.90, then you need to be winning over 53%. And obviously, the further it goes down, if your average odds is $1.80, you need to win a higher percentage of bets in order to be profitable. So that's why I kind of work around that range. Also, don't go to the extreme of looking at $5, $6 odds, because at that point, you're starting to get a lot more variables influencing a single bet in order for that bet to win. So this is the way I've always done it. It's proven to be profitable for over 10 years now. So that's why I'm sharing these strategies with you guys to be able to win as well.